Welcome to today's coaching session right here. My name is Reynaldo, and you can get in contact with me at reynaldo@tradective.com. That's reynaldo@tradective.com. And visit our website at www.tradewithufos.com/Reynaldo. Before we begin, on the other hand, please make sure to read the disclaimer above here, saying that the following videos, clips, and demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Tradective provides these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the product. Users understand that all the content used in the video is purely for demonstration purposes only and is not a guide and does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through the demonstration do not indicate in any way the results you may receive on using our products. Also, please make sure to attend some of our classes. We have really great instructors as well on our channel, especially with the Forex component. All right, so for those who don't know me, I've been trading now for the past 25 years, all multi-asset classes, and 90% of my current positions are currently Forex, and the rest I just hedge my positions through ETFs for longer investing, but on a day-to-day and swing trading is basically Forex. All right, so today we're going to discuss more about your performance as a certified NLP practitioner. NLP means neuro-linguistic programming. It's just a branch of psychology, mainly in the hypnotherapy. We go through the root causes of, and that's what the beauty about NLP is, that we can find the root source of what's really happening based on outside results. Because in trading, when you're trading, there's one big thing that's actually happening here is through the future. The future is mainly the unknown, and the unknown creates a lot of fear. So if you're a type of person who's seeking a lot of certainty, where the market is always uncertain, then there's always going to be some form of fear that will create some form of self-doubt. You're seeking security. And when you're seeking all that, analysis paralysis will occur. And when you're looking at two-dimensional chart, like say technical analysis using candlestick charts or open, high, low, close, or any form of a charting software, you're looking at a two-dimensional picture right there. And when you're using a two-dimensional picture, you're using simply what we call your cognitive bias based on your perception, which is very subjective. And hence, a lot of traders will use patterns to identify entries or exits. Will identify basically some form of risk management and so forth. It has been shown based on research that psychologically, visually, that everything is just simply an illusion, and sometimes it plays a trick on us, and what we see fit sometimes is not real. Unfortunately, in trading, that happens quite regularly. So nonetheless, if you really have a good objective trading methodology where you fully understand the mechanics behind technical analysis or using a chart, then you have a better edge. Other than that, if your experience and knowledge and also wisdom of oneself is below par, then the results will be very inconsistent. Okay, so let's go through first about every week. One of the advantages in terms of why I love doing this, it's simply one of the main reasons, in my opinion, looking at one's performance is always going to be very important. Okay, so that's my opinion, of course. As an athlete, being basically always involved with goal setting and looking at performance. So the first question here would be, what would be your performance for the week? That if you have performed very well, they'll be a 10 out of 10. If it was halfway, 50%, maybe it's 5. If you believe that you didn't perform that well, then it'll be 1, 2, or 3. 0 being not performing at all, which in my opinion, that is way too low. So for example, for me this week, my performance would be a 7.5. Why a 7? Okay, so a 7.5 because I missed certain opportunities. I lost focus along the way with dollar against the Japanese yen. We had a really good entry point. I was waiting for it to create a lower high right here where no one was willing to go beyond a certain price point, 105.60. It was at 5 o'clock, actually, or 100 hours Eastern Standard Time, which is 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I live in California. And unfortunately, at a meeting, I forgot to put limit entry to sell. And what happened? It just simply dropped to, as planned, to where I wanted to be. There's 100 pips to the downside. So that opportunity in terms of that scenario or that trade alone costed me 100 pips. So I did get in at 104, back to 104.67, close some positions off basically today, and simply, that's about 100, another 140. So that is simply for me the performance is not getting into a back to focus state. So what worked on the other hand is simply the awareness of the thought in order not to dwell basically in the past. Okay, so I will say this, so basically 7, I'll put it at 7.5 for myself. And then what worked I'll go first in terms of what worked is the mindfulness. Because if that was the old me, I will be getting irritated, having some form of regret. However, because of the awareness of it, I was okay to say, okay, that was done. What's the next step? What can we do in order for us to go to the next one? And hence, in actual fact, so it was in the dollar Japanese yen. So right there, what can we do? So what I did simply is to enter back to 104.65, knowing that the probability as a form of this correction is over to create either a new higher high or another lower high somewhere sometime basically in the future. So I might have lost that opportunity to the downside, but when it stabilizes itself, okay, what's the plan? To create a plan, forget about it. Next is to move on basically from there. So that's in terms of the plan. So what didn't work simply for me is the lost focus due to certain events, such as a meeting. At the end of the day, no excuses, in my opinion, to take the responsibility still with certain trades. So that is the solution here is to always take responsibility and always take responsibility, create an alarm or an alert. And be aware of the time. So what emotion? Of course, there's some form of regret at the very beginning. There's some form of there was some form of irritation, and then basically that led to, when the awareness happened, came to calmness and peacefulness. Basically, just say peace. So what's the root cause? Not following my own values of responsibility, and now with the lack of integrity. Okay, so that's basically the bottom line. And then simply here is the solution is to take that, always to take responsibility of one's action. Last is also to follow through. Okay, so that is the process I'm going through for myself this week. And the other one was simply, well, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing right at this point in time, was the dollar against the Canadian dollar, the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. So it retraced, it came back down. And then when it touched the a certain price point or demand through here from a form of a correction, it rebounded back up. But because there's certain criteria, well, there was still that probability that it could rebound. So also the hesitation of getting in, because yes, in hindsight, everything looks good. But when you're in the process, when it's hitting and you're going through there, there's also going to be certain thoughts that will come in part of the uncertainty. Yes, one of the best ways to actually do it is just to put in a test trade and either to choose for myself to choose the dollar CAD or the dollar yen, and I chose the dollar yen basically from there. All right, so that's one of the major processes that you would be able to do is simply that if you are uncertain and then you're having certain trades, just find with the highest probability of winning on which one switch based on that. But if not, if you're just following one pair, then just put in a test trade because the risk will be very minimal anyway. But it also depends on your style of trading, your way of looking at certain things. So either your system is objective or and stay away, by the way, of being subjective, finding evidence as much as possible to create the probability simply of winning. Okay, so that is what I would basically to give you as a form of recommendation. So once again, here we go. Firstly, important to know in terms of your performance. What is your performance for this week? I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to do so. What was your performance basically for the week? Good. And then when you're done with in terms of your performance, we're rating yourself out of 10. What worked for you this week? What worked for you this week? spend a couple of minutes with that. And then, what didn't work for you this week? What didn't work for you this week? So for myself, I was losing focus. How about yourself? Also, I didn't have responsibility. Lost focus, lack of responsibility to my trades. How about yourself? What didn't work for you this week? Then what emotion or emotions did you feel this week? What emotion or emotions did you feel this week? Regret, irritation, anger, sadness? Was it happiness, calmness, peace? What would be for you? What emotions or feelings did you feel this week? And then next one, and what's the root cause for you to feel these emotions, or in terms of that led to what didn't work for you this week? What do you think were the root causes of it? So for myself, was not following my own values of responsibility and the lack of integrity. Maybe for yourself would be procrastination, maybe fear, and then finding what's causing for you to procrastinate, finding the root cause for you to have a lack of passion or motivation. What would it be? What would it be? Then once you've found the root source, I want you to create a solution or solutions that you can put in place so it won't happen again. So what is the solution? For myself, to take responsibility and then to create an alarm or an alert, not to forget, being aware of time and following through no matter what. That is in addition to the trading plan, of course. Okay, and then your homework is to create a step-by-step process to add into your trading plan. So your homework is to create a step-by-step process to add into your trading plan, especially on a day-to-day sort of goal to-do list, like a to-do list to set your goals so you will be able to achieve what you want to achieve for your weekly goal. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at reynaldo@tradective.com. Once again, it's reynaldo@tradective.com. It's right here on the bottom right. And my name is Reynaldo, here with Trade with UFOs. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you a really good weekend. Until next time, happy trading. Bye now.